Hi everyone, it's Nancy. I'm back with another cute little Halloween project. We can get this done before Halloween. I know we can do it. We're going to make a Halloween little journal out of the large Jello box. So I've made Jello box journals before, and I don't know if I have a playlist for them. I'll have to check, and if not, I'll put them in a playlist. I've made a few before, but I thought, you know, I saw the large box and I'm like, oh, we've just got to make something fun, easy, fun to look at, just something really cute. And so I bought the large Jello. This is the 6-ounce box, and you're going to cut, like I have one here, you're going to cut these flaps off, and you're going to cut this part off and this part off here. So then you end up with this, okay? And, you know, I just cut it with my scissors. If you use an X-Acto knife, use an X-Acto knife. As you can see, these sections here are in, but don't worry about it because we're going to cover from the spine back all the way inside with paper, and I'm going to give you measurements. Now, everybody's measurements might be a little different, and then if you don't find the large Jello box of orange, you can use the small one. You would just have to measure, and I've done them small. Matter of fact, I can show you one real quick here that I have. I made this one for Valentine's Day, and this is out of the small Jello box. And what's nice about the small Jello boxes is you can make them two different ways. You can make it this way, but on the back, the same box has a portrait and the other side is landscape. So if you want to make the Jello box, the journal this way, you could do it this way, but I like these little ones this way. But this Jello box here, it only gives you one way, which is, I like it this way anyway. So anyway, what you're going to do is cut all the excess, leaving the front, back, and the spine, okay? And just cut it to the best of your ability. Now I'm going to give you measurements, but like I said, you know, use your ruler, see what your box measures, and, you know, go from there. You might have to tweak it a little bit. Okay, so once we get to this point, what I want to do is cover the spine and this part here, okay? So, oh, and I wanted to tell you, since this is orange Jello, I wanted to do traditional Halloween colors, black, white, and orange. So my goal, and cream too, because white and cream kind of to me are almost the same. Okay, so that's my goal on this journal. You could do whatever you want with your journal, little journal, but I am going to stick to traditional Halloween colors, okay? Just like that. I'm going to stick to traditional Halloween colors, my goal. All right, so what you want to do is measure, you're going to measure from the spine up to the cover here, because we're going to leave the cover the way it is, and we're going to measure this way. So, and you want to leave about, we don't need extra here because the paper's going to butt up to here, but we want to leave a 1/2 inch on this side, and this side to fold over, okay? So I'm measuring mine right now, and it's at like 5.5, so I'm going to say 6 that way. Write it down, 6 that way, and then I'm going to measure this, adding a 1/2 inch each, and that measures, adding my 1/2 inch here and 1/2 inch here, about 4.5. So I'm going to cut my paper 6 inches by 4.5. I'm going to score 1/2 inch around the 3 sides, because remember, this is going to butt up to the spine here. So we're not covering the cover. So we don't need any score mark on this side here, but we need score marks on the other sides. And then what I did was I notched out. So I just notched out a triangle. I notched out a little V where the spine is going to bend here. and then I cut these two corners off, and we're going to, you'll see, match it up to here, and then what you're going to do, and see the reason I notched it here for bending. So this is all going to go this way. We're going to glue this on to here. And the reason I notched, I said, is because then this will bend, but this will glue here. So let's get that on. So measure your box again from the spine and add 1/2 inch this way. Whatever this measures from the spine to here is, for me, it's like 5 1/2, so I'm going to add 1/2. And then this here, this is like kind of almost 3 1/2, so I'm going to go 4. Okay, so that's what I cut my back cover piece. And we're going to notch, and then we're going to line it up to there and glue it on. Okay, so that's what we're going to do first. And then you would do the same, you know, if you're using a small box, and you want to cover the back. Like on this one I didn't, because it's got the cute side on this side too. But if you want to cover it, you would just do the same measurements, and you know, go from there. But I think this Jello box, this orange one, is readily available right now around, and maybe it's always, I'm not a Jello person. I don't do Jello, I just don't. So I have all, from making Jello journals, Jello box journals, I have Jello. So I had to write on the bag what flavor they are. So I have a small array of Jello. If anybody has any good Jello mold recipes, let me know, because like I said, I'm just not a Jello person. It's not my favorite thing. It reminds me of something you get in the hospital, and I just not a Jello person. But if there's some awesome recipes out there that you know of, let me know. Okay, all right, so, all right, we're gonna add this onto here, buttoning it up. I'm gonna turn it over real quick before I press it down, make sure everything's lining up there. Now, if you want, you don't have to pre-notch it. You can just glue this piece on, and then once you have it glued on, then you can trim and notch. You don't have to do that before, okay? It's not necessary. So now that that's on, really easy to put on. We're going to glue all these flaps down like that. And then we're going to cover the inside too. I'll give you measurements for that too. Okay, so first we're going to do this, and this will be covered here. So just get it to the corner the best you can. You can use your bone folder to get that on there. Okay, once you get it to where you want it, we're going to glue these on. Glue these flaps over, I should say. And see, by covering this, cover this little area of the spine that's uneven, it's not even going to show because you cut the paper, and it's going to reinforce everything. So we're going to glue this one down first. I just use my bone folder to help do that. I want to thank everybody for the wonderful comments you gave me on my book of Lost Souls, and just sticking with me and having fun making that. And I know a few of you are making them, and I would love to see them. If you could, you know, if you do a video of it, let me know. Or if you post on Facebook or Instagram. I'm not on Facebook too much anymore, but I mean, if you post on, I always put my Instagram in the bottom of the description. So, I mean, just tag me so I can see what you're doing. I would love to see it. But you all have been so nice and kind, and I just am so grateful. And thank you so much for all your support, because it means a lot to me, okay? It really does. So I had this idea. I wanted to get this little journal done, and I wanted to show you, you could get this done. You could get it done for Halloween. You probably could even use it for an October daily or a little brag book, or put your, you know, if you take pictures with the cute little cameras, those pictures would fit in here. It would be fun. But I'm just doing a fun book. I'm just going to make a fun book, something fun, traditional Halloween that you could flip through. And so that's what we're going to do. Now, one thing I want to say before we go further is you're going to want to bend this right away. And once we get this back cover on here, I would suggest letting it dry flat, and then kind of go in with your bone folder and score those 2 seams before. Don't do it while it's wet, because if you do, it's going to dry in that shape. It's going to dry in that shape, and then when you bend it back, you might have breaking or cracking. So I would suggest, once you get this cover on here, let this dry, you know, an hour or so, and then go in, score the 2 seams, and gently bring it to the form, okay? And that's only because we're covering this. If you were making the journal with no paper on it and just covering the inside, you wouldn't have to do that, okay? So now for the inside cover. Okay, here's our outside. So now for this side here, we want to do the same measurement here, more or less. But we don't need, I'm sorry, take that back. We're going to measure because we're not folding over this time. We're just going to cover the inside. So I'm going to see that mine is just sly of 3.5 this way. And then I'm going to measure from about 1/8 of an inch from the end here all the way to here. So right now it measures about 9 1/8. So whatever your measurement is, cut 1 piece. Okay, now this is bigger, so I think the width is going to be fine. Yeah, I cut it to the width, but I didn't cut it to the length. I personally think that if you just cut it to the right width, but leave extra on the length, because you can always cut it off. And if you see, I mean, I am right up pretty much to my edge. If you like a little bit of the edge showing like that, you can do that, but I've got it pretty much right up to the edge, and I'm okay with that. I like that. It's not hanging over. So I'm going to glue this on, and then after it's dry, I'm going to cut the excess off, just because that's, I don't know, I guess that's what I'm going to do. So I'm trying to empty this glue bottle here so I can wash it out and refill it with my refill. So I'm going to see if I can get some more of this glue out of here. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to glue. Don't put too much to the edge because you don't want it to ooze out. Sometimes I put too much. So, okay, now Halloween is a week from, well, Halloween is the 31st, obviously, but my Halloween party for my family and friends is Saturday the 28th. So I am going to get this done, and I'm going to concentrate on getting everything finalized for the party. And so I might take a couple days break next week, just so you know. But I had to get some costumes done for my family, and so, but my goal is to finish this cute little journal before, because once we do this, oh, and another thing, I've got to catch up on my Inkbox cards with Amy's 50 Stack Challenge 3, so that'll be coming in between this journal here. Okay, so I have to stop talking for a second. Hold on, please hold while I line this up, okay? So let me get that lined up. Once I get it lined up, it should be good to go. Okay. And there. Oh, that was easy. Okay. So I'm just going to run my bone folder over that a little bit. And I know you want to cut it and you want to bend it right away. I'm suggesting not to. Okay, don't do it. because I've made one before where I covered it and then I bent it, and then when it dried it had like a little gap where the two seams are here, and it's hard to open. So let this dry, walk away from it right now and let it dry, okay? In the meantime, while it's drying, and we'll cut that off. Actually, I could cut that off, but I'll just wait. I'm telling myself to wait, okay? So since this is the cover here, and then the spine is here, we want to start picking out pages. Now, I usually do 2 signatures in the Jello boxes, okay? And I'm gonna tell you that my pages are gonna be 4 by 3 1/4, because I don't want it all the way up to the edge. So I want it like 1/8 of an inch or so away from both edges here. So I'm gonna say 3 1/4 by 4, but folded will be 8, and then you fold it, it'll be 4 by 3 1/4, right? And I do 2 signatures. And for this journal here, I'm going to say, well, you fit what you want. It depends how much decorating you're going to do in it. If you're not doing a lot of decorating, that's going to make it get, bigger. Then you could probably fit more pages. But if you're going to decorate, I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm doing 2 signatures. I'm going to do 7 pages per signature, which gives you, let's see, that gives you 28 plus 28, that gives you 56 pages, so I think that's a lot. And so this is what I picked. Now go through your stash of what you have. If you have scrapbook paper, use that. If you have dyed paper, use that. If you have book page, music page, digitals, whatever you want to use, and you can use pretty much scraps, because you're doing 8 by, say, 3 1/4 pieces, so you could use up whatever you have around. I had some Halloween scrapbook paper from Stampin' Up. I'm using that beautiful dyed paper that I used in my other journal, which I'll link the shop below again. I'm using some of that up, and coffee dyed paper. So that's pretty much what I'm going to use. And like I said, I'm sticking to orange, black, white, or cream, whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to put this aside here for a second. And I'll show you, this is what I picked. So I have 14, so I'm going to do 7 and 7, two signatures, okay? So I have the beautiful dyed paper. So like I said, 8 by 3 1/4 folded, okay? So I have 1 for each signature there. I have the black, 1 for each signature. I have coffee dyed, 1 for each signature. And then I have some scrapbook papers, and I stuck with the colors. I looked at my stash of papers, and I stuck with the colors. And these are black, orange, cream, white, whatever you want to call it. But that's what I'm doing. So I made a bunch of pages. I cut up a bunch of pages. I'll just show you. And they're different on the inside. They're double-sided, so they're all different. I can tell you, I can list what these papers were, what they're called. I don't think you can't get them from Stampin' Up anymore, but you might be able to find them on Etsy or eBay or something. Maybe somebody would have them. If you're looking for this particular type, I'll try to look up the names and list the names of the they call it designer series paper collections. So I can do that, and I'll try to remember to list the hand-dyed paper. So anyway, I'm going to do, I already cut them, I'm going to do 7 sheets, 2 signatures. So 7 pages, 2 signatures, okay? I can also tell you what you want to do is measure the spine. We're going to make a template. So you have to have a template, and I'm going to use 3-hole pamphlet stitch and sew those 2 little signatures in, okay? I'm not doing it on camera. Once again, I can't. It'll be a nervous wreck. It'll take me forever. So if you, the other option you can do is do it Midori style, which means you can punch holes and then put eyelets and thread elastic cord in, and then you can slip the, you can make 2 signatures the same, but instead of sewing them, you would just slip those 2 signatures in behind the elastic, and this way you could take pages in, out, and work on them, or do whatever you want, and change them out, or whatever, add, subtract. So that's, I believe that's called Midori style, but I'm actually going to sew the signatures in with a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, okay? But and if you have a different way, I wouldn't say to stitch through with a sewing machine unless you have a heavy duty sewing machine. I wouldn't do it myself. If you have, I don't even know if a heavy duty stapler would work through cardboard and all the papers. So I think your best bet is either Midori style or just sew them in with a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. And it's super easy with a little journal like this. It's easy, believe me, it's so easy. So, okay, we're gonna make a template. So you're gonna measure your spine, and this box measures 1 1/4, and we're going edge to edge here, not from the small sides, just edge to edge like this. So this is 3 1/2. So 1 1/4, 3 1/2. Okay. So the next thing you're going to do is cut a piece of paper. Cut yourself just a piece of anything. Oh, actually, let's see. Did I measure that right? 1 1/8. Excuse me. I want to go 1 1/8 by 3 1/4. So I cut a piece of paper 1 1/8 by, oh boy, I'm just, hello, hold on. What did I do here? This is not 3 1/4, 3 3/8. Forgive me on that. 3 3/8 by 1 1/8. Okay, that's my final answer. I'm sorry. So we cut a piece of paper 3 3/8, see? And then I cut it by 1 1/8, okay? Then you can score it or you can just fold it. So I'm going to bring both ends together and then fold it. That's my middle, so I just drew a light pencil line there. And then I'm going to fold each end to the middle like that, okay? And then open it up, and I drew a light pencil mark. Now, this is important too. You want to mark T for the top, because believe me, you don't think it would make a difference, but if you do this and then you have T for top, and that's the top. But if you're going to mark the holes and punch holes in here, and you say do one this way, and you grab the paper and happen to do this way, even though it's as precise as you could possibly get it, it just somehow is off. It doesn't work. So mark a T on top so you are consistent with what you're doing. So once you get done, once this is dry and you cut off your excess, or if you already did, and then you're going to bend this, you're going to put this on the inside in your spine. You can use 2 little paper clips. You're going to use 2 little paper clips and clip it in. I'm just kind of giving you a visual here. You can use one down here. Oh, okay. And then what I did was, you see the marks I made here. I wanted to do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. So what I did was I took my ruler and I measured down 5/8 and I made a measurement 5/8 down, and then I measured 5/8 up and made a mark on the 2 outer lines, because I'm sewing in 2 signatures, okay? So then I measured from the point on top to the point on the bottom, and I measured in, and it's just slightly over an inch, so I put marks there. And I did punch little holes through those papers first, okay? And that's my top. I always remember that's the top. So once you get those marks done, you're going to line it up on the spine on the inside here. You can put 2 paper clips. I'm not going to punch. I'm just kind of showing you what to do. You're going to hold those in there. And what I would do, either on an old book or a sponge or whatever, take either a needle or an awl, and you're going to gently put holes in your spine like that, okay? All right, once you do that, you can remove this here, and then you'll have your holes already in there. Then you're going to take your signatures and get 2, I'm just grabbing papers for now. You're going to get 2 signatures together, and then you're going to open them up. I'll just use 1 paper for now. You're going to open it up, and these bats are going this way, so you want to keep everything together in top and top. And the first signature is going to be the first row. So wherever your crease is, you're going to have all your papers together. You're going to put that first row in the crease of your first signature, clip it, and you can gently poke those 3 holes through each signature. Once you have that done, then you can line up the holes in the first signature, put paper clips, and do your 3-hole pamphlet stitch on your first signature. Do the same for the second signature, okay? And that's how you would sew your signatures in. And what else can I tell you? So yeah, this should be dry. Let me, so I'm going to gently, I can see where it's going to crease. I think it's dry. It feels like it's dry. I am going to put my ruler here and make my mark, and I'm going to see where my other seam is here. I think, I don't want to do if it's not dry, but I kind of bent it, and we're going to gently bend these up. And if it's not dry, you can do, just get it to where you need it, and just go slow and bend it up like that. It might crease a little bit, the paper. It depends what kind of paper you're using, but it's okay. And we're going to bend that up, and we're going to bend this up. You can just keep running your bone folder in there to give it a nice crease. And that's all you need to do, okay? And then that should be good. Now I can trim this off. I'm going to trim this excess off, and just go carefully. You can just butt it up against your cover here. It'll cut off real nice. There we go. And that's our inside. So now you can see it's nice and covered here. We're going to sew the signatures in here. You have your back and your inside. And then pick your papers, make your little template here, lay it in there, poke your holes, sew your 2 signatures in, and we're going to be ready to start decorating, okay? So if you have any questions, let me know in the comments, and I hope you run out and get that Jello box, okay? And then just save the Jello. Just mark on the bag, Orange Jello, 2 cups cold, 2 cups hot water, and put it in your cabinet. Okay, I'll see you soon. Thanks for hanging with me. Okay, take care. Bye.